There are 5 simple steps that you can take right now to become a super consistent trader, following the elite traders in our firm. In this video, we cover them all in detail from a special live event in New York City, the S&B Trading Summit 2024. I'm Mike Bellafiore, and we're one of the top proprietary trading firms located in New York City since 2005, and proud to develop numerous 7 and even 8-figure per year traders. Watch, take notes, and learn from a live presentation so you can grow your trading account. I want to give you guys a visual. I want to give you guys a role model for you to think about being or becoming as a trader. I'm going to save that visual to the very end, but I want you thinking about that while we're going through this presentation, okay? What role model, what visual do we want you walking away from this presentation? The very best trading coach in the world writes this to me: I want you to help me identify what trading deficiency this great trading coach is pointing out. And I would suspect that some of you need work on this too. One of the big problems I observe with hedge fund traders is that they put a lot of time and effort into idea generation and very little original work into the proper trading of that idea. For example, they may notice an earnings print that beats expectations and start buying shares, but they don't identify whether they're in a trading momentum environment or a cyclical mean reverting environment, so they don't necessarily enter at good levels, and they don't necessarily adjust their holding period and their strategy for adding to positions versus taking profits. The detailed reviews enable us to review the generation of good and not so good ideas, but also the ways in which you've traded those ideas. What trading deficiency that relates to being more consistent as a trader is being identified here? Trading review, okay, what else? Execution, who said that? Okay, very good. Trading execution. This is a tweet that I wrote recently. Being right about direction is not sufficient. And by the way, this tweet was generated by a very frustrating conversation I had with a very big trader who was arguing with me about risk on a trade idea that this trader clearly was wrong about. I'm not saying that. The market and his P&L had told him that. And he was pushing back on me saying to him, hey, let's move on here. This is just one trade that's really kind of not working out. So my tweets often have a story behind them. I'm frustrated here, and I'm just going to Twitter and trying to teach a lesson. Okay? Being right about direction is not sufficient. A trader must be right about direction and timing. If you're too early, that's not one good trade. What trading deficiency am I pointing out right here? Execution. So we have a lot of resources at our firm. You've met many of them today. I have to say to you guys, while we are supportive of our traders, when things are not going well, we do not sit around rooms, Jeff and I and Steve and Carlton, we do not sit around rooms and say, things are going to be okay. Okay? Just keep doing what you're doing. You're a good person. You have a lovely family. Okay? That's not what we do, because things will not get better unless you change. And oftentimes we see retail traders or underperforming proprietary traders who don't make it, unwilling to admit that they have to change. To that point, we had 2 traders at our firm who were 7-figure a year traders. During 20 and 21, they put up huge numbers. And early in their career. And smart guys, love trading. We root for them really hard, doing great. And then these same 7-figure a year traders went into a drawdown. They went into a drawdown that was actually over 7 figures. Okay? In 20 and 21, okay, trades worked really, really well, pullback trades specifically. And then we hit a different market regime that Steve mentioned when the Fed started signaling they were going to raise rates. Those pull-in trades stopped working. Those traders started drawing down significantly. We did not sit around and say to these traders, you have done well in the past, things are going to be okay. Okay? Things will not get better unless you change. And we also don't just say, things will not get better unless you change. We talk very specifically about what those traders need to do so they change. And what we talked about specifically was, guess what? What do these traders really need to work on? Execution. Okay? What did you want to say?
I want to say new playbooks.
Okay. And specifically, what we wanted them to work on is being more consistent. When you're in a big hole, your confidence is low, and you need to rebuild your confidence and your consistency and your P&L. And specifically, we said they need to work on execution, and specifically we said they love Lance. Lance is a huge role model to them. And so, and Lance had formed a relationship with them, and they had formed a relationship with Lance. And we said, you need to go work with Lance, and you need to work on specifically your entries and your exit strategies with Lance. And Lance started to work with them on 2-minute entries and exits strategies. And to their credit, they really did change. To their credit, they really did start entering and exiting differently. And to their credit, they did start getting more consistent again. In fact, I called up one of these traders and I said to them, I feel bad about this, on a very opportunistic trade, I said to them, to one of the traders, I said, could you have been bigger in that trade? Could you have pushed size a little bit more? And this trader, I will never forget this. I feel terrible about this. I feel like a parent who's said the wrong thing to a kid. The trader said to me, Bella, I just want to work on being consistent. I don't want to be bigger there. And that trader was 100% right, because at that moment in their career, they were working on their entries and their exits and being more consistent, and they were not worrying and working on the home run trades. Okay? They have really, they've really carved into their drawdown. They were down more than 7 figures, almost $2 million individually. They are very close. I would say they're within a month and a half of being completely out of their hole. That's pretty impressive. During the last monthly review at our firm, one of the traders said, we're only here because of the SMB resources. They were talking about Lance. Okay, maybe they were also talking about us encouraging them to work with Lance, but they had made the changes. They had used the resources. Okay? Number 1, become expert at your entries and your exits. Resources for that. Justin does a great job on YouTube with his bar by bar video series. Go check that out. If you want to get even more serious about your entries and exits, Justin mentioned this, we have an S&B fast track program for those of you who want to get even more serious about it. What is the first thing that we ask our traders to focus on at S&B? You walk in the doors, you're a new trader, what do we ask you to focus on? Process, okay.
Getting consistent.
Who said that? Okay. Number 1 thing we focus on, Jeff, is consistency. Okay, what's the second thing that we encourage traders to focus on at S&B? Oh, you guys cracked that code really quickly. I didn't know it was going to be that easy for you guys. That's right, consistency. Okay, what's the third thing? To scrap my whole presentation. I'm going to switch spots with you guys. Okay, consistency. All right, we know that the first, second, and third thing that we ask traders to focus on is consistency, but how? How do we ask, and what does that mean? How do we ask them to focus on consistency? One good trade, okay. Who said that? Yeah? Okay. What else? Okay, good. Consistent routine. Michael, all right, great. Great answer. We ask them to focus on a consistent routine. That is the blueprint for them to actually be consistent. The things you do lead to your results. All right? The things that you do lead to your consistency. For us, that means doing a daily report card. That means doing a playbook trade. That means using TraderView. That means practicing with a highlight reel. That means easy money trades. That means collaborate each day. That means build technology each day. Build your book of charts each day. Do your daily journal each day. Bring your best you to trading sessions, which to us means practice mindfulness, get your exercise in, get your sleep in, get your diet in check. Okay? We have lots of, if some of you are like, oh, I'm not sure what the daily report card is, go to our YouTube channel. There are videos on every single one of these. Okay? But I want to share the real secret about this. So I've put this up here on the screen. What separates the guys who make it? What separates the Lances and the Macs and the Garretts and the Justins and the Jeffs and the Carltons from the guys who are not here, who we transitioned out of the firm? Because they knew to do all of these things, but what's a differentiator? What's that? Make it as a habit. Excellent, yeah. Discipline, okay, good. Okay, putting in the work. Yeah, so the real secret is you really actually have to do these things every day. You don't just read them on a screen at a fancy event at the Marriott Marquis in New York City, or watch us on YouTube, or watch us on YouTube and say, yeah, that's great, you know, or for a week be like, I'm going to do all these things and do these things for a week, and then on day 6, stop doing them. You not only have to do them day after day, week after week, month over month, quarter over quarter, year over year, you have to do them well. You have to put your heart and your soul into each one of these things. You have to compete to do the best daily report card of everybody in your training class. You have to compete to do the best playbook of everyone at the firm, like Shark did. You have to compete to do the best job on TraderView, like Justin did, every day, day after day. One of the things, I'll just tell you a little anecdote about myself and my family. So we just got back from the Bahamas. We were at the Atlantis for 5 beautiful days. This is not a commercial for Atlantis, though I highly recommend it. It's a little expensive, but terrific. So we're in the Bahamas, and the beginning of the day, I said to my son, hey, you want to go practice later? And he's like, yep, let's go practice. And we're like, all right, what time do you want to do it? He's like, let's go practice at 7 o'clock. And for those of you who've been to Atlantis, they've got all these water slides. And from the beginning of the day, my daughter and my son went on as many water slides as they possibly can. I think they may have broken a record. And towards the end of the day, my wife, I mentioned to my wife, you know, Luke and I, by the way, we have to go practice at 7 o'clock. So maybe we should start to wrap this up. And she says to me, and my wife, by the way, is a former Division I scholarship basketball player. So she understands working hard. She says to me, he's on vacation. Like, let's give him a day off. Let's let him enjoy himself. And I just have to say to you, I just don't understand that. I just, like my brain doesn't comprehend the words she's using, okay? It's like she's speaking a different language to me. And I think the fact that this former Division I scholarship basketball player is saying to me, your son is on vacation and is a high-level person herself, and I just don't understand it, speaks to really why we're so good and why we've been so special and why our traders are elite. It's because I just don't understand why you would ever want to spend a day not trying to get better at something that's important to you. I just wouldn't want to go to sleep on any day. The thing that I want to get good at is running my firm. And when I'm on vacation, like I don't understand having a day where I didn't try and make the firm better. I don't understand why that would be fun. I don't understand I don't know what that means. I don't get it. And I also have a wife and I want to have a happy marriage. And so he didn't practice that day, but so, I mean, I'm not stupid. I mean, but I have to admit, I just don't understand. Because if you don't practice, you don't get better. And in trading, if you don't do these things, you don't get better. I wouldn't understand why you wouldn't want to do your daily report card. Like you say, I want to be like Lance. I don't understand. I just don't get it. Okay? So that is an important differentiator. Okay. Doubling down on scalping. So this is an email I wrote to Dr. Steenbarger. This trader, I've changed this trader's name. Double down is outpacing his peers. One thing that is interesting in his path to consistently profitability was this doubling down on targeted scalping. So this trader was underperforming. He doubled down on targeted scalping. And Dr. Steenbarger said, I saw the same dynamic years ago when I worked in Chicago. The guys who did very well loved the detail work of trading mechanics and was less about bigger picture ideas, less about setups and more about what to do with the setup. Like the difference between guys who like cars and guys who love to work on cars. So double down was what we'll refer to as our #1 draft pick from his training class. Fair to say, I think, Jeff. And Jeff alluded to this before, but not every time period in markets has big opportunities. Not every time period in markets has an SMCI or an AMD or Bitcoin breaking out. There are periods where there's low opportunity. There's periods of time where you pay the bills. There's periods of time where you just make B trades, okay? You earn income. And we were going through a period of time where there wasn't these big opportunities. And Jeff and I started to use terminology to help our traders to do well during this less opportunistic time. And I'll say to you, they're going to come again. Okay, and I'll say to you, you've got to pay the bills during less opportunistic times. So it's great to swing the bat hard when SMCI comes around, but it's also true you actually have to be in your trading seat. You have to be able to pay the bills so that you're in your seat when those times come. Make sense? And the way you do that is you raise the floor. And you raise the floor by making more money month over month and scalping. Scalps never go away. Scalps are always going to be there. They're going to be there every day, every week, every month. Whether there's SMCI and Bitcoin or AMD or any of those, it's always going to be there. There's always going to be stocks that are up too much, down too much intraday. There's always going to be really great A-plus scalps, easy money scalps, where you can make cash flow every day. And one of the things that you have to measure when you're trying to develop as a trader is how much money am I making each month from scalps, from easy money scalps? And am I raising that floor for how much money I make each month, month over month, just on the easy scalp trades, not on the big opportunities, not on the home run trades? Can I make $3,000, $5,000 a month just on scalps? And if last month I made $5,000 just on scalps, did I make $7,500 this month? And am I moving towards making $40,000 in a month? We have a trader on our desk, Swang. Okay, Swang literally starts his monthly review with, and this is a trader who's made near 20 million, multiple years, 8-figure a year trader, one of the great traders on the street, just a remarkable trader. Okay, he starts his monthly review going over what types of trades. Okay, his floor for scalps in a month is $200,000 a month. That's his floor. Okay, $200,000 a month. Okay, you can, I live in New York, okay, and New York is expensive, but you can live on making $200,000 a month in New York, okay? I think we can all agree to that, right? Even with inflation, no matter what your politics are, okay? So you need to be thinking about that, all right? What's my floor for scalping, and are you raising it? All right, so as we always talk about, Jeff and I went to work to help people raise the floor. And one of the things we did is we doubled down on scalping internally. We doubled down on teaching scalping internally. And Jeff redid our scalping program, our scalping training. And he created targeted specific scalps powered by technology. We didn't just say scalp more. We said use these setups, these very specific setups, which we're going to help you build technology for to raise your floor. Make sense? All right. And then we say always tag and measure those specific targeted scalps powered by technology so you know which ones you're doing well. The ones you're doing well, put more risk on. The ones you're not doing well, get rid of them. All right, so solutions for you guys. All right, one of the solutions that Jeff created for the community is the SME Scalp Radar. Targeted specific scalps powered by technology. You get exact detail for strategies, exact entries, exact exits. Try them, tag and measure them, see how you do. Double down, okay? Double down, I left this part out. Double down literally is in college. He was an intern twice, and we actually let you trade when you're a senior in college from college, okay? He's in college. He doubled down, he was underperforming, he doubled down on scalping. What does he make on scalping per month? After doubling down on his scalping and embracing targeted scalps powered by technology, his floor is $20,000 a month on scalps. Okay? That's a pretty good place to start your career. He's going to walk onto our floor, our trading floor, with his floor being $20,000 a month in scalps. And then he can wait around for the big opportunities and pounce on them. All right, raise the floor. I really want us to think about this. I feel like lots of people say this, but I feel like lots of traders don't really understand it. And I want to try and put it in the proper context. Garrett Cole is a pitcher for the New York Yankees. Okay? Garrett Cole is a baseball player. He can't hit at all. Can't run. Can't field. Those are all things that are a part of playing baseball, right? Okay? Can't hit, can't field, can't run. Do you think, okay, his contract I think is almost $400 million, by the way, for those of you who don't know that much about baseball. He's the best pitcher in baseball. He's going to make $400 million over his career. Do you think Garrett Cole, one of Major League Baseball's best pitchers, sits around dejected that he can't hit, that he can't field, and that he can't run fast? So, should you, as a trader, sit around thinking about all the things that you can't do? And if Garrett Cole can be that successful, I mean, really what he does is he throws a baseball fast. Okay? He can't do anything else. I don't think he can trade. And honestly, if you are going to make $400 million over the course of your career, you don't need to trade. So, should he sit around and focus on that? And if I were to tell you, I went to a charity event and Garrett Cole was there, man, it's just, he's so depressed. He's just, can't hit. Can't hit, can't run, No, of course, I mean, that would be silly, right? You'd be like, that doesn't make any sense. But as traders, lots of times you all sit around and you say things like, I'm not a really good swing trader, or I'm not a really good value trader, I'm not a really good long-term investor, or I'm not really good at bounce trades, and then you just leave out the fact that you're good at 2 or 3 other trades, and all you want to do is talk to us about the stuff you're not so good at. Do you think Shark is good at every single type of trade? You think Swang is good at every single type of trade? No, they've studied what they do well, and they build their trading career around the setups that they trade well. The trades that they trade well tend to match their unique talents. Garrett Cole can throw the ball fast. He's built a business and a career out of throwing the ball fast, not out of running, hitting, or fielding. Okay? So, and again, I want you all to really think about that. What are your unique talents? What are the trades that you trade best? How do you match your unique talents with the setups that you trade best? They should align. Okay, so if you're a fast thinker, maybe you should scalp more. If you're very thoughtful and analytical, maybe you should try and swing trade a little bit more. Okay, this is super, super important. All right, a resource. Ryan Hassan has done a great video for you guys to take a look at about trading consistency and building from your strengths. All right, read this daily report card. This literally comes from a daily report card that was sent to me recently. Read this and tell me how this daily report card can be better. Who said that? Yeah, go ahead. What'd you say? Trader sent this to me, and I read it, and it's nice of that trader to send it to me. Was really right on CMG, but wrong on timing and amplitude. Got too big early and stopped out. Okay? Would have been 25,000 if I'd been able to hold. All right, that's fine. That's not a bad start, but you have to say where you would have entered. Here's specifically where I would have entered. Here's specifically where my stop would have been. Here's specifically what the signal during that intraday would have been for me to enter, whether it was a tape or a chart. What was the signal? Here's what my stop would have been. Okay? Where you would have added. The thing that I say most in my responses to people's daily report cards is, and usually guys are specific, is what?
Where you would have added.
Yeah, where you would have added. And my feedback often is be more specific. What's different about SMB is we are more specific than other people. We are more specific about our entries and our exits. We are more specific about adding size. We are more specific about the trades that we're taking. We are more specific about how much we're risking on trades. We are more specific about the filters that we're building. We are more specific about the people we work with. We're more specific in our reviews. We're more specific in our daily routines. Okay? Because we're trying to get better at a very tough sport. The point of that is that trader identified an issue but didn't solve the problem. Okay, he identifies the issue but doesn't solve the problem. This is a screenshot that Garrett put on Twitter of a Friday night. He was there late working on his game, You can see it's dark outside, overlooking Fifth Avenue, and he's there working. When I have worked with Lance in the past, when I have worked with Shark, when I've worked with the good traders on the desk, what they do is, and I particularly remember this with Lance, Lance would identify a problem, and he would never, in his DRC, lack a very clear solution. And it wasn't just a solution, it was a really good solution. It was a well thought out solution. It had an effective best practice that was going to drive improvement. All right, so when you identify something that you're underperforming with or struggling with, do not leave. Do not leave your trading journal. Do not leave your desk. Do not leave what you're doing unless you find a solution, an effective solution. Don't leave. All right, figure it out. And if you do that, imagine doing that time over time, day after day, that compounds, and that will lead you to get a lot better. All right, and so Garrett talked about a particular class that he's teaching, which relates to what he calls variable engineering. He's going to have to explain that to me one day, maybe later, where he's being very specific and working on some entries and some exits and solutions to his trading. And so I did bring this up a little bit before. So one of the solutions for you guys on entries and exits, and one of the solutions for you guys on being more consistent, we spent a couple of months at Rose's initiation putting together this educational opportunity for our desk. Selfishly, we actually put it together mostly for our interns, and then we realized we can offer it to our community, our bigger community as well. And as you can see, we were trying to help our traders internally get more consistent and improve. And in doing so, we recognized we could offer this to more people. When we showed this to Seth, as I mentioned, he had probably the most genius marketing strategy, which was basically to say anybody who actually doesn't sign up for this is an idiot. But marketing didn't seem to like that approach, so we went in a different angle. But there's a video that we put out that lays out SMB Inside Access. Super excited about it, super proud about it. It really gives you guys an opportunity to be inside the firm, to be sitting next to us virtually as much as possible. So this is that visual that I promised I would leave you with. This is the super consistent trader. Okay, almost as many muscles as Max, the super consistent trader. Now what we hope for you as you're building out your career is that you become a superhero trader. That role model for you to aspire to is to be a super consistent trader. From there, you can do a lot. All right, from there, you can really put on the home run trades. Now, I'll just leave you with one more thing. My life, I'm now 53, and we've done a bunch of things in our life. But one of the things that you're going to find out, one of the things that I found out from this, and again, I don't understand what my wife's talking about, is when something's important to you and you lay out a daily process, and it's an ambitious daily process, and you really do it day over day, and you do it intensively, and it's something you're passionate about, and it's something you have talent for, guess what happens? All right, you go in and you have these dreams of being a profitable trader. You know, Lance wanted to make enough money to be able to pay the bills and do this for a living. And when you really commit to something like this and you have some ability, guess what happens? I think this is probably the number one most rewarding thing that I've experienced in my life. What happens? Okay, you become an elite performer. What else? Grow as a person, yeah.
Back.
Can change. Yeah, anyone else?
Everything compounds.
Everything compounds, good.
You get what you want.
What's that?
You get what you want.
Who said that? Who said you get what you want? Get what you want. Yeah, and I think the biggest reward that you'll find is that you're going to get even more than you want. That you're going to be so much better, and you'll be able to do things that you really never even imagined you could do. Things will turn out so much superior to even your grand plans. That's really an experience that is the biggest reward for that. Well, thanks everyone for coming. Rose has some drinks for us. I hope you guys had some fun. I hope we learned a lot. And very much thank you so much. This is our first ever S&B annual event. Thank you for trusting in us. And let's go have some cocktails. So you're an active trader, not doing as well as you want, not doing as well as you deserve, and you just can't figure out why you can't become profitable no matter how hard you try. Well, let me show you why. This is your competition. The traders in this room. This room right here is full of elite traders, some of whom are making 7 and even 8 figures a year. In fact, our top guys have made nearly 20 million each in net trading profits in a single year. Let's head to my office so I can share more. So you're probably used to seeing videos of lavish trader lifestyles, trading gurus trading off of a laptop for an hour a day, heck, maybe even 15 minutes a day, and then them relaxing on some secluded beach for the rest of the day. Well, all I can tell you is that our traders train like pro athletes. They live and breathe the markets and are continually working on their trading skills. Because at our firm, that's what we found it really takes to make it in this game. I'm Mike Bellafiore, co-founder and managing partner of S&B Capital, one of the world's top proprietary trading firms located in Midtown Manhattan. And we're always looking for trading talent to hire and develop. And not just to trade in-house on our desk, but also to trade from their own home, entirely using our firm's capital. And we have numerous traders doing just that, allowing them to make upwards of 7 figures trading the firm's capital without risking their own money. But to even get a shot at something like that, you need to have the right training. That's why we're doing a new free online presentation in which we share how you can get an interview with S&B to become an in-house or remote trader, trading firm capital without risking yours and gaining access to all of our firm's coaching and resources. And the best part? You don't have to be a profitable trader yet. In fact, we prefer to mold profitable traders with our methods and our techniques. That's why we have just 3 simple criteria that can earn anyone an interview. We're looking for highly ambitious and determined traders who fit our culture first and foremost. So if you believe that could be you, sign up for the free 1-hour online presentation by clicking the link that's in your top right corner of your screen now.